This is Natalina Love, and I'm here with Rori Raye, our feminine energy genius. It's so wonderful being here with you, Rory. Okay, so this is something that we all want to know, that we all, for better or for worse, and usually not better, beat ourselves up about how to be the most feminine we could absolutely be, all about receiving. How do we receive? And I'm hearing you say that it's possible to just be in receiving mode all day long. Now, what do you mean by that? I feel like we're going to have tons and tons of questions about specifically this. How do you be in receiving feminine energy all day, every day, 24/7?
All right, I've been doing this for so many years and working with it myself and working with so many clients and experiencing it in my work, at my business, and going to the grocery store, being with my husband and being with my daughter and everything and every moment. And the only difference between me and someone else who's asking the question would be experience that I have of developing an awareness of where I am. So you may be familiar with tracking and tracking your body and where you are, but let's talk about tracking your state of being. Your feminine energy is a state of being. And when you're speaking in feeling messages, and if you're not familiar with feeling messages, please ask questions. It's such a core thing about the words and how the words are so transformational, shockingly so. So the words you use reflect your state of being. The feeling messages express your state of being. So see if you can actually feel that. Ask yourself, what is my state of being? And don't try to get a definition of it. Just what is my state of being? What am I being? Where am I? What am I feeling? Am I up in here? Am I up on my neck? Up? You can use this tool. Am I down below deep? Do I feel like I've let my shoulders go? Am I feeling anything or am I feeling a block to the feeling? Just explore where you are. Now, the whole leaning forward or leaning back thing comes in. Am I leaning forward? Am I leaning back? This is you in space. This is your state of being. And spatially, am I leaning towards something? Am I being pulled? Am I leaning back? Am I pulling the things in? So once you get used to this and doing it all day long, you'll start to notice when I feel slightly stressed. Let's say you're in line somewhere or you have 5 projects at work on your desk and you don't know where to go. Settle back into this space. Where am I being? Who am I? What am I doing? What do I want? All of that. So now you take the moment wherever you are, walking around, walking your dog, walking from your car, a list in your hand, sitting at your computer, sitting in a boardroom with people in front of you, and just say, where am I? Now, the word grounded, feeling grounded and centered used to be big words. If that helps you, please go ahead. Grounded, centered. I'm just about, feel yourself like a tree. I got roots in the ground. I'm here. I can feel the weight of me on the earth. I can feel the gravity pulling at me. And see if that feels to you like things are coming at you. See if it does. And please ask questions and I'll just keep fielding them. So this is one of my very basic tools, the water wheel, if you've never heard of it before. So imagine this big water wheel, like the side of a barn. It's a very antique, very lovely concept of the water wheel on the side of a building, and it turns. And there's water underneath in a trough or a river. And then there is, at the very top, it picks up the water just from a little cup of, the whole wheel is got little slats in it. So it picks up water, it brings it up to the top, and then it just lets it drop on the other side. Now that mechanism is meant to fire up an engine, an actual working engine inside the building. But let's just see what it's like with a water wheel that's turning towards you as opposed to away from you. Most of us are water wheels coming, pulling water up, pulling energy up from us, and then dumping it in the world. Does that make sense? Do you feel it? And out. I'm giving to my child. I'm giving to my client. I'm giving to the world. No, now stop that. Stop the wheel and imagine it pulling up water, energy, love, everything that you want up from the world, wherever, whatever that trough is, whatever the energy is that is collecting on the wheel and coming toward you and dumping it right in you all the time, just automatically coming in. Now, most of us reject that. It feels scary. It feels weird. It feels like too much. It feels like, get away from me. Have you ever been at a meeting or a party and there are people who mostly can only focus on themselves and they're just all talking and pulling energy from you and it feels very unsatisfying. And then you meet somebody where it clicks and the energy's back and forth and you feel like you're playing kind of and it's fun. And then you meet people who are actually opening up to you and not just clicking, but actually feeding energy to you. And all of a sudden it feels scary. All of a sudden you find yourself backing up. Too much, too much, too much coming at me. Wait a minute, too much coming at me. That is part of your clues. Energy coming at you literally makes you go, oh, and all of a sudden you feel tongue-tied. You don't even know what to say to this person. They're actually looking in your face. They're actually paying attention to you, where you might be the one who's normally paying attention and looking at the person and asking questions. And all of a sudden it's coming at you. This is what happens with men and us. We reject men who actually lean into us because it's scary. Because what do? We have to take it in. We're tired of just bouncing it back at them, right? Which is our instinct. We have to learn how to take this water wheel, let it come to us. All of it, everything. Now, once you get a handle on this a little bit, you'll start to see how everything in life, in the feminine energy we're talking about, can be receiving. You are receiving texts from the man you're dating. You're receiving energy from him when he's standing there. When he talks to you, you're receiving it. If he's watching TV and he's not looking at you, theoretically, there's nothing going on, right? What I want you to do is imagine still the water wheel of his energy coming towards you. The molecules of his smell and his being are coming towards you. So you want to imagine that this water wheel is always coming towards you. Now, if you imagine him who's not paying any attention to you, actually sending energy to you, even when he's not even looking at you, how does that feel? How does that feel? It feels completely different, right? Than this energy of, oh, he's not looking at me and wanting to send the energy out to him, right? That is our natural state. Oh, fill the space, fix the vacuum, stop the problem, send him an energy, send him a clue. No, unfortunately, switching the water wheel from here to there requires a stop motion, right? It has to grind to a halt and stop. And then it just shifts. Can you feel that in your belly? Go ahead and the water wheel's going out and then it stops. Whoa. Drop down and it's just gearing back up. It's slow. I can feel it right in my belly. It's like, oh, an opening. Oh, and let it just keep dumping. So that means wherever he is, even if he's across the street, if he's in his room, office, if he's across town, if he's across countries, I want you to imagine the water wheel of his energy coming towards you. Now, after a while, if it really isn't in real life, if it isn't coming towards you, you're going to notice that and you're going to be bored. And that is the solution to a relationship that is not giving you what you need. You just get bored with the non coming at you stuff because instead of reversing it and trying to give to him as a kind of a little tweak, you say, hey, wake up your energy. No, you just stop it and you keep it coming this way. He will most likely join the parade and his energy will start to come to you once you start to allow it to get into you. But you got to practice this out there. So you can do this 100% of the time. So I know that I kind of skipped the part, the grocery store, the guys, the work, the everything. So I want you to imagine that not only are you getting texts, touches from a man, touches from other people, them leaning into you literally while you are sort of leaning back and receiving, people talking to you, people telling you what they want, all the things that are easy to figure out, videos, energy coming at you. Imagine that there's also messages. You're getting clues from out there. Tons of people show up in your inbox. Tons of people show up on Tinder and Hinge and your dating apps. A really nice guy shows up on one of those apps. Okay, those are still more concrete. How about just the fact that a person turns and looks at you in a room? That's an energy. All you're doing there is receiving. You smile back. And you can feel the difference between, oh, I want that, and I'm receiving this. Work. Let's say you've got tons of things on your list. Anybody got that? Yeah. Send me a comment, send me a note, and we'll try to work it out specifically for you. And Natalie, please tell me when we're wrapping up, given how many minutes I got here. This will probably be the end of this podcast, and I want to make sure that you get the value of it here. So all this stuff is on your list, all the to-do lists, all the things you got to clean, all the things you got to wash, all the things you got to do to prepare for a party, all the things you got to do to make a meal, all the things you got to do with your kids, all the things you got to do for work. Take the message of what feels most fun right now. If this list was not on paper, if it was laid out like in blocks or dolls or toys, what would you gravitate towards? And I think I want to do something on gravitation and gravity and what you gravitate to. What would you move to? What would you want to be pulled to? What would you gravitate towards? What would you do? What sounds like easy? Pick that. Pick
Wow.
that. If going to Trader Joe's feels easier than going to Macy's, go to Trader Joe's. You'll get it done. Feeling the feeling of having get something done fuels you for the next thing you would choose. Now, this is how I get more done than anybody I've ever heard of, and I just do it on the spur of the moment. Some days I feel like videoing, some days I don't. So I try not to schedule them, except here. I try not to schedule them, and I don't like even scheduling anything. I realize some of the time you have to, and I am not in the place of a lot of people of, making block schedules and scheduling your work and everything. After, I would give yourself some time, give yourself a week to see where you gravitate, see whether, you get up in the morning and you do hair and makeup every morning because you want to, and you want to look at yourself, and then you can do social media whenever you feel like it. You don't even have to do hair and makeup. You do it wherever you are. And don't consider that you have to do the whole thing of getting it all done. You just do the first step. So let's say you're writing a project presentation. Instead of looking at it as a finished thing and trying to back into it with an outline, which I'm totally not into, instead of an outline, go think about outlining, figuring out what the whole thing's supposed to look like. Instead, throw out the points that come to your mind. Oh, this I think is important. Write that one down. Oh, I think this is important. Write that one down. Oh, I like to talk about this. I think this is important. And then look at what you did. Do it on a Google Docs. I mean, this is what we do at our RCT and Biz. This is how we get things done fast and deeply and personally by working from what feels good in the moment. So you just start doing these things, and pretty soon you have pages and pages, which might be the first time you've ever experienced that. So now you need to learn how to look through it and see how things go. and then we cut and paste. So cut and paste is what you do in life here. Cut and paste. Don't make a whole plan. Just cut and paste the things. Do the things you want. You will be shocked at how instead of sitting in front of the TV for 5 hours, you just start doing things. You'll just start cleaning the dishes in the sink because they're there and you want to think of you just do it. And then you look at the water and then you'll do a Rori Raye tool and you'll feel present. All of a sudden, everything turns into a receiving of the feeling that I feel like doing this. I am gravitating. Don't think of gravitating as I'm looking for something to do. Can you tell the difference? I'm going out there looking for what I want to do. No, wait for the message. Receive it. Look around your room a lot. Look around at your workspace a lot. See what comes to you. Cleaning up will come to you probably a lot. Reading a book off of a shelf you've never looked at in the last year will probably come to you. Much better stuff than trying to think about a guy and call him. Can you feel the difference? This is a practice like any other practice. So I'm leaving you with these exercises for now, and then we'll continue with other things once I get some questions. And love to you. And Natalina, please take us out.
This is so great. Thank you so much, Rory. All of these different practices, these are exactly what I would say have moved so many of us from like feeling really confused and lost in life and with men and in dating to like just kind of chipping away. And before we know it, like we're surrounded by men. We've got dates on our calendar. We've got fun things. We're doing fun things with our hair and our nails and our clothes. And we're actually enjoying life. And our homes are like there's an evolution happening. I'm just so excited we're getting to talk about this because like I said, we beat ourselves up so much about how feminine or not feminine we are, and just your explanation of this, what do you kind of float towards? Where do you feel yourself pooling? Um, where do you find your body wanting to be? And all of the tracking tools that sometimes we can even just be like, oh, that's it's such a small thing that you don't do it. Yes, and the water wheel, that's such an iconic tool. Oh, I just want to talk lots and lots and lots more about all of this stuff. It's game changing. Thank you so much, Rory.
Thank you.